So we've been exploring the hot zone or the red zone, that zone that constitutes the Sphinx's gaze. So from summer solstice as one boundary to the gaze and winter solstice as another, there is this real, it's like a power zone. And because Neptune sits on that exact degree at the moment, it's really calling us to attend to all things Neptunian, certainly, and beyond. But that is the core focus right now. This will pass, and it won't come back around here for another 165 years, I believe it is. So it is um, it could be a moment to remember, that's for sure.
Mhm.
The more people awaken to this particular cosmic indicator, the more we're going to have a substantial shift in the collective consciousness. And that's what Neptune is all about. And we've got a couple of exemplars here who are wired for um, this zone. And yeah, here we are exploring. So Barron Trump, born March 20th, 2006, is the youngest son of Donald Trump and Melania Trump. He was raised in New York and later lived in the White House during his father's presidency. He graduated high school in Florida in 2024 and began studying at NYU's Stern School of Business later that year. Known for his height, which is around 6'7" or to 6'9", Barron has largely stayed out of the public eye, but recently gained attention for his appearances, involvement in his father's 2024 campaign as a tech-savvy advisor, and co-founding a short-lived investment firm. Is interested in soccer and technology and has been described as apolitical. He has also been the subject of social media controversies, including public calls for him to enlist in the military and debates over immigration policies affecting his family. Despite this, he maintains a relatively private and low-key public persona. So his birth chart. Barron Trump's natal chart paints this profile of a highly intuitive, reflective individual, Pisces sun, paired with a freedom-seeking, philosophical, emotional core, his Sagittarius moon. The presence of a supportive grand trine suggests an internal sense of balance and maturity, though external poise may mask inner sensitivity. His chart hints at subtle inner struggles shaped by a high-profile childhood, yet underscores potential for independent growth and self-definition. And his has an Aries North node right there in the early Aries. So when we look, when I look at this chart, some things jump out at me. As usual, I pay attention to the galactic center. And here we find Barron's got his natal Pluto at galactic center, which to me is, I mean, that's an extremely powerful position to be bang on galactic center with your natal Pluto. Certainly for his generation, he's wired to be a leader and a spokesperson. There are essentialized values that come forth with this kind of placement that because they're drawing on the depth of the galactic center, I see him being a very prominent figure in the upcoming years. Now, directly opposite, and I mean directly opposite, it's an exact opposition between Pluto and Juno, the asteroid Juno, which is really the archetype of the committed partnership. So what that looks like in his life at this point, I'm not sure, but I'll be paying attention to that particular placement. So again, exactly opposite galactic center. He's also got, well, let's see, when we look down there, we've got Mars close by as well. We got the asteroid, um, what is it? I'm sorry. Oh, Psyche. And so Mars, Psyche, Juno, all down at uh, the end of Gemini, which is the kind of a hot zone right of its own right now. As we were talking earlier about Uranus moving into Gemini. So, any commentary from you guys on this? Anything jumps out at you?
Just his Stern. He went to Stern School of Business. I'm just looking for a commonality with our son. Uh, Steve Stern is my stand-up comedy name. That's,
That's
yes,
great.
I guess that's funny business.
Yeah, the trickster.
Hmm.
I love his little smile here down in his photo there in the bottom right. Um, to see that on a young man coming up through the ranks here. I don't know, just feels good to me.
Do you know what Mayan temple he's born under or solar
Uh,
kin?
there we go. Just what you asked for. Yeah, so they're both 13 house. It
Yeah.
doesn't get any bigger and bolder than 13 Hau. Temple of Birth, the heart. So this
Hmm.
is the heart of the shaman. Um, it'll be very interesting to see where this young man goes in his quest for consciousness. He's wired to go deep. So whereas Steve, he's just just it's all surface,
Yeah,
all monkeying around with
it's all
life,
monkeying around. Funny business.
Monkey business. Yes.
tricking people.
Yep. Tricking myself. That did happen the other day at the parkade. I went for lunch and then I came back and I go, "Where's my car?"
Whoopsie.
Oh no, somebody's taken my car. And this lady says, "Oh, well, it might be on the other floor because they're identical."
Ah.
And this was the one time I pulled in from the other street. The first time I'd done it and came in and then I parked. And where the machine to get the ticket, the glass wall, they're identical. And I realized I was on the wrong floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had tricked myself into feeling that my car had been stolen.
Right.
So there's self trickster too.
I like it. Yeah. Hmm. Now this is to jump right out of that mode and well, let's say another person of note dropped into my lap, and that would be Ringo. And I think I posted it to our Facebook group that, on his birthday, he has been calling actually for a number of years
Mm-hmm.
for people to join him uh, in manner very similar to what we've been calling for with Stand at Zero. To stand with him on his birthday and declare peace and love to the
Mm-hmm.
world at large at
So
high
good.
noon. So I don't know if, because I came up with this whole Stand at Zero at high noon. I don't know if in my past I encountered his birthday wish or not, but the fact that we're both calling for people to come together at high noon, you know, and declared peace and love. It's just a sweet coincidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been doing this for a few years now. I'll just read here. Ringo Starr's annual Peace and Love birthday worldwide celebration began in 2008 at the Hard Rock Cafe in Chicago, and it's grown into a global event with thousands of participants across all time zones. On July 7th each year, Ringo's birthday, fans accompany him in a unified moment. At noon local time, people think, say, or post hashtag peace and love, creating a digital and spiritual wave that starts in New Zealand and flows around the globe to Hawaii. Growth and reach. What began in one cafe now comprises over 30 official events in 22 plus countries, supported by ambassadors and venues from Nice and Chicago to Tokyo and Paris. Since 2019, the celebration has included a prominent gathering at the Capitol Records Tower in Los Angeles, with musical performances, a communal cake cutting, and a synchronized peace and love moment. The event is backed by partners like the David Lynch Foundation, promoting transcendental meditation, Life is Good, an optimism movement, SiriusXM, Modern Drummer, Starbucks, and the John Lennon Educational Tour Bus, all helping amplify the message. Recent highlights in 2025, his 85th birthday, so just outside the Uranus orbit of 84 years. He's now a full graduate of the first round of Uranus since his birth. So in the 85th birthday celebration at Beverly Gardens Park in Beverly Hills, featured performances by artists such as Joe Walsh, Jackson Browne, Molly Tuttle, and Lucius, with Ringo closing out the event live, even sending a peace and love message from the International Space Station, and receiving a proclamation from the mayor declaring July 7th Ringo Starr Day in Beverly Hills. In Ringo's own words, "I've said it before, but I really can't think of a better way to celebrate my birthday or a better gift I could ask for than peace and love, starting in the morning on July 7th in Australia and ending in Hawaii." And his final statement, I'm sorry. It's the context. So the story behind this worldwide celebration is one of simple but profound unity, inviting people everywhere to connect through a shared intention of peace and love, one time zone at a time.
Wow.
That's so great. I love it.
Yes.
And so, that has been going on for years. It's gaining momentum. And I mean, this is so in alignment with the vision I've been holding for Stand at Zero.
And when you said it, coincidence, in fact, when things coincide, they're perfect mathematical meeting points.
Right on. And when we look at Ringo's chart, the thing that jumped out at me was his natal Venus right at the bottom, right dead center with the vertical axis of the chart. There's his Venus. Venus in the last degree of Gemini. So Venus anaretic. So it doesn't get more Venus than Venus anaretic. Let's put it that way. That's what the anaretic degrees are all about. So I just imagine him sitting there on his little stool with his sticks in hand and calling us all to attention. We will now celebrate peace and love. Me and my friends,
Yeah.
That's so good.
He just keeps it so simple.
Yeah.
The message. Yeah. And what's better?
So what's happening? On Monday, my birthday. What does that mean? It means at noon, wherever you are, all over the world, anywhere, You go, peace and love. That's my gift from you. Thank you. And this is my gift to you. Peace and love.
Nice.
So it looks like they even have a statue in that park of the
I noticed that.
peace sign.
I'm curious about the origin of that particular peace wave, or with the two fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Especially interested because I'm getting the two fingers greeting from my granddaughter.
Mm.
she's in the know. I'll ask her about it.
I was from the 60s.
Yeah.
From the 60s.
And my little grandkids too, you'll see the birthday pictures and they're all doing peace signs.
Oh, cool.
It's like,
Nice.
Right on.
Mhm.
Right on.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Cool.
Okay.
I thought I was clicking to the next slide. Oh, here we go. I mean, it just gives it a little more juice to our yellow submarine.
Does it ever?
Oh,
Do you think there's others out there that might be resonating with the same vibe? Oh, I love it. Just love it. So this was a little piece I put out on April 2nd after we had the Stand at Zero experience. And now I'm aimed at February 27th, 2026, which is when Neptune finally is released from its passage over zero Aries. So from then on, there's no returning, which there has been since April. There's no returning to Pisces. It's complete with the Pisces component. So this was the little thing I put out after April 2nd. Dear friends and fellow wayfarers, on March 31st, 2025, many of us around the world chose to stand at zero at high noon in our respective time zones as a gesture of unity, remembrance, and awakening. Now, with the energy of that moment still rippling through the field, I'd like to share with you the deeper intention behind this ceremonial gathering. At its core, Stand at Zero was created to mark a once-in-a-lifetime celestial event, the entry of Neptune into Aries. But even more specifically, it honors Neptune's passage through what I've come to call the Sphinx's gaze, a sacred zone of the zodiac extending from 3 degrees Pisces to 28 degrees Aries. This band of sky mirrors the arc between winter and summer solstice and acts as a symbolic gateway of transformation. We now find ourselves living through a turning point in planetary consciousness. Neptune's slow, dream-infused transit through Pisces, beginning in 2011, has drawn to a close. And as it crosses the threshold into Aries, the sign of ignition and primal fire, a new archetypal story begins, one that none of us will experience again in our current lifetime. As if to emphasize this shift, Kilauea volcano on Hawaii's Big Island erupted in synchrony with Neptune's ingress into Aries, a potent reminder from the Earth herself that the inner fire, long held beneath the waters of Pisces, is now rising to the surface. The symbolism couldn't be more clear. Neptune in Aries equals spirit meeting fire. This global moment was not designed to prescribe beliefs or ideologies. Rather, it offered an opportunity to pause, to honor the mystery, to stand together, even in our differences, and recognize the dawn of something vast and unknown. Whether you stood alone on a mountaintop, gathered with others in a circle, or simply held the moment in silent reverence, know this: your presence mattered. Let Stand at Zero live on as a vibration, a seed intention within you. Let it guide how you speak, how you relate, how you rise each day with courage and clarity. We stood at the still point together, and from that place, we begin again, knowing that the second and final Stand at Zero initiation will take place on February 27th, 2026. With gratitude and forward vision, Dwayne Rourke, initiator, Stand at Zero.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, my pleasure. As Neptune passes through the Sphinx's gaze, the veil of illusion thins, inviting us to align with universal truth and ancient wisdom.
That's
There we
it.
go.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Yeah, when you're showing that presentation, I'm just constantly hearing the word transition, transition, transition. That's from my son, that's where I'm at. It says transition from ending to new beginning.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where I'm at. I can feel it.
For sure.
And I've been reading the transition book, and it has lots of kind of exercises for endings, exercises for the neutral zone.
Mm.
And in the new beginnings, there's no telling what to do. It's like, you will know, I will know.
Mm.
And it's very fascinating. The one thing he does say in the transitions book is that that's where the growth is, in all these endings, neutral zones, and new beginnings.
So what is this book? I'm not familiar with the one you're referring to.
Came out in 1987. It's William Bridges.
Great. Right on.
Cool.
And it was the certainly the guide in our relationship. Sophia and myself, I mean, when we first met, that was the book we based our change seminar on, that we created together. And it was called Change, the New Adventure. So looking at change as being adventurous.
Nice.
So it's really been a fascinating study for me, going through these changes in the last couple of years. At this point, it feels like big changes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to actually take action and do the work
Mm.
of the book
Yeah.
has been so helpful, as opposed to reading it and going, okay, but actually doing it. And it just ties in with where Brenda shared the wish itself is the magic
Mm.
wand. When I feel these new beginnings and I start to wish what they are, well, for example, all of a sudden, all the scarves showed up,
Mm.
and it states that new beginnings are messy because suddenly it's a new beginning in the chaos and it's pulling it all together. So it's been the example of creating the scarf puppets is, okay, I've got to pull it all together. And yeah, that's where the fun is in this new beginning.
Right on.
It says when we have that wish, it'll suddenly just start to show up. And that's about the only thought about the new beginning that he really offers. He just gives a lot of examples.
And what was his name again?
William Bridges.
Bridges. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. I think when it is example of kind of going back with the rituals of past civilizations, he says the difference kind of in our society is like when an ending happens, he equates it to like a appliance. So an ending happens, suddenly we unplug, but society expects us to plug right back in again. And we haven't dealt with that ending. And we're not given the time to be in a neutral zone about just allowing. And the neutral zone is kind of where all the rituals are, and taking the time for a vision quest and things like that. And then over time, then the new beginnings start to show up, instead of just suddenly plugging back in and going, okay, no, I'm just kind of repeating the same thing. So it's been quite a journey the last couple of years.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
I had a neutral zone that lasted for about a year, I guess. And I'm an avid gardener. And several years ago, there's one of the gardens is kind of a rocky downslope, and there's a driveway to the house at the top of the hill. And I planted some things. And then last summer, I had that nasty fall, and it took away a whole season of gardening, so there was a lot of cleanup to do. And in the last couple of days, I definitely needed some gardening therapy, and I filled 4 black garbage bags full of stuff, and I found stuff that I had planted 2 years ago that went through the neutral zone and grew. And I was, brought to tears. I thought, wow, look at you grew. And that happened in 3 or 4 places, and it just filled my heart, because I knew that, I hadn't done anything about the garden all that time, right? But I had planted it, And so not to, that old saying about, if you plant a garden, you shouldn't go out every day and see if they're up. You just trust, Gaia knows what she's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that gray zone is letting the plants grow however they want, and then when you have time, you can plug back in, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so joyful watching and one of them was a little heather plant it was about this big when I put it in. Now it's this big in 2 years without me doing anything.
Yeah.
It was so good. Thank
But
you.
I can feel you plugging into the enjoyment of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very cool and beautiful
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
The beauty path.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very wow. All of it.
Yeah, so those endings, yeah, like they can be quite shocking. And suddenly we're supposed to just keep doing what we're doing. It's
Mm-hmm. No.
like wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I had no idea where I was, but I realized, oh, I was in the neutral zone.
Mm-hmm.
And taking the time to deal with the endings, feel the endings, and then be in that neutral zone, or it's referred to as the cave time, and just be in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And then start to emerge. And see what's possible with the magic wand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing the magic wand equates to intention.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then when we have that intention and focus and commit to that new beginning, then as Goethe said, providence moves and things start to show up. And just got to look for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I think we're in the neutral zone.
I was
The presentation
that
ended.
very same thing. We're in the gray zone and it's percolating.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely feel the percolation.
Just let it percolate, right?
It's wonderful.
Mm. It's a good example. Yep, presentation ended now.
Mhm. Mm.
So we can rush into this. Neptune is really riding along with Saturn at the moment,
That's right.
Mhm.
as Saturn moved out of Pisces into Aries.
We're going to have that Saturn-Neptune conjunction,
Right.
which we'll certainly be paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
It's another big cycle
Right. So that's the outer planet meets the one of the inner planets, and then we see what manifests from that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to visualize as well. Because I know with, clients that were born with that, and I had a few of those, and they were looking at their charts, and when they had Neptune and Saturn conjunct, they were either worrywarts or visionaries.
Hmm.
And because it's what you see is what you create, right? So if you see negative stuff, for
Mm-hmm.
sure, the next day it's going to be knocking at your door.
Mm-hmm.
But if you visualize something creative and something inspiring, then that's going to knock at your door.
Yeah.
So that's the lesson. If somebody has that in their natal chart, the lesson is be careful what you visualize because you're very good at creating. So if this is happening on the worldwide scale, it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. And I've been working with Greg Baden's book, The Pure Human, and there's a breathing exercise that he's got in there involves heart and visualizing, and I'd been doing it, and my blood sugar numbers were really low and really good, And then the last night we were watching a Dixie Chicks live performance. And man, they are so talented, right? And the night before we'd watched that movie about them called Shut Up and Sing, because when they were in London, Natalie said something because it was the beginning of the scam about weapons of mass destruction, right? And it was huge demonstrations in London, and they were performing right then. And they said, "Yeah, we're with you guys," and we're embarrassed that the president is from our state. And everybody else loved it, but back in the States, they were banished. They were ghosted, And so the next, and I thought, well, I never really paid attention to their music. I wonder what they sound like. And last night we watched the live, the 2003 tour, which was after that statement was made. And man, they're so talented, And so I went to bed being angry at the establishment and all that stuff, right? And I didn't really pay too much attention to my breathing exercise and stuff like that. And this morning my numbers went south.
Wow.
So back to okay, don't let the outside world affect you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the two opinions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the wolf. Which one do you feed?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because the two opinions are there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I didn't have my watcher hat on. So I couldn't stay in the neutral zone,
Your watcher hat?
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
a literal hat?
I've got a little imaginary watcher hat. Sometimes I use a real hat.
I was going to say, let's have a look.
Yeah, well, it's upstairs right now. You'll wear it next time. But I put this hat on when there's conflict and ridiculousness and Agent Orange shouting off, and so when I have it on, I can see that the world is a place of learning. And there's negative, there's positive, there's medium, and I don't get pulled in. But last night, I did not have my watcher hat on when I was watching the Dixie Chicks. And I was just I was angry at the idiots, So, yeah.
So I'm thinking the witnessing consciousness.
That's it. That's the watcher hat.
Yeah. Gotcha. Got it right on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's got different names depending on what day it is, but that's exactly. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for that.
It's interesting. I want to have a bunch of hats made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the hat that I use. My daughter Liv, when she was working in the mines in Australia, sent it to me, and it's a Nobel hat. And you know, Nobel is known for the Peace Prize, but it's also they work with dynamite, right? So I have my dynamite hat when it gets really serious.
Right on.
Ooh. Mm. Yeah. I'm just thinking of a hat I have in the closet. It has a new use for it now.
Ah, cool. Yeah. And I do put the physical hat on, you know, on days when that witnessing consciousness is not quite up there. So I'll put the hat on to, you know,
Right
Yeah.
on.
yeah.
I'm just thinking crown chakra.
Mhm.
We're on that level 7 and just thinking of the various hats worn in
Oh
the
yeah.
spiritual practices.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently the dunce caps were actually made of copper, and they were, cone shaped to tap into energy and bring in wisdom.
Ah, interesting. So that's a far cry from being made to stand in the corner and
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
and then the witches' hats, you know,
Yes. Yes.
same shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they definitely wanted to do away with those women because they could heal and they were smart, just like the Dixie Chicks.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
I'm just thinking of one of their songs, and it always makes me laugh. And I'm such a strong believer in the sacredness of relationships and the gift of men and women. But that song about Earl, I don't know if it's the time. Anyway, anyway, Earl was an abusive fellow, and they've written a song about Earl.
Ah,
So
Cool.
I bet she is brilliant.
it's-
How many Dixie Chicks are there?
Three.
Hmm.
Three. Yeah. There's one main singer and she plays guitar, and there's some other really multi-talented. One plays banjo and dobro, and another one plays the violin, the fiddle. Just, you know, and their outfits are so great. And the country music establishment, when they made those statements, banned them. They wouldn't have anything to do with them. And I'm thinking, you know, they're way bigger than country. We started off as a country band, but they're way bigger than country, and they're so amazing.
Hey!
I love it.
What's that?
That
Oh,
is
hey,
great.
all right.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
great.
gosh.
That's
That's
great.
fabulous.
There's my hat.
That's a good hat.
Mhm.
Did you wear that at the Calgary Stampede when you were a clown?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
No, I was a white face. I had a little tiny, it was a little tiny top hat,
Hmm.
and it had pipe cleaners with two B's on it.
Okay.
So it was two B's or not two B's.
Oh,
To bees or not to bees. Oh, that's good. That's a good hat, Steve.
what is
Hmm.
the story
And
of
where
this
did
hat? Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the story is I just took it off of the wall that Sophia had it taped to. And she had a bird that she received attached to it. So I'm releasing it from that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I just noticed it there the other day. It was in the or like for storage purposes.
Hmm.
So I'll just tape it to the wall. So I said, well, now that we're talking crowns and hats and
That's a really good washer hat.
time to bring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
So now I'm busy watching.
That's good.
And I'm going to look for a hat.
Yeah.
You're watching with bells on. You can.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, humor is so important. You know, my sister who lives in Edmonton said that she and her husband went to the Edmonton SPCA put on a Pets in the Park. Okay, so one of the events is the Dachshund Dash,
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
and they have Dachshunds run like the 100-meter thing, right?
Yeah.
And they're so funny. Some of them crash into each other, and some of them just sit and watch, and other people. It was just so crazy. And you know what people can do with humor, right? It was just wonderful.
It's
oh, there we
another
go.
wonderful one.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Looking good.
there he is. Oh, wow.
I love it. I wear it at least once a year at the winter solstice gathering we have here in town.
Oh, that's so great.
That,
What a good hat.
and I don't have a hat, but I have dachshunds.
Dachshund.
Wayne,
Oh,
you
that's
were
Brenda,
there when Sorry brought up the dachshunds, and that's what
No.
I've been looking at the last couple of days.
You must have a hat of some sort.
Oh, me, I'm sure I have a hat, but nothing as exciting as what you two have.
No, there's no
mine's
There's no
upstairs.
comparison.
It's going to take a while to get up there. So I'm not.
Yeah.
You guys are great. What handsome dudes. Oh,
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
wonderful.
Court jester.
So where did yours come from, Dwayne? I mean, that looks so
It
Scandinavian.
originated in Finland.
Yes.
Ah,
Late
okay.
outside.
Is that sealskin? It almost looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely authentic materials, natural
Mhm.
materials.
It's a Viking hat.
Yeah,
Mm.
but how it came to me, I've lost track of the thread. I can't remember just where I think it came from like a thrift store or something.
Right.
Wow.
Come to think of it, people going right by it because it didn't relate, to their culture.
Mhm.
And then, in fact, Teresa, being in our life the queen of thrift stores, could have very likely come from her, knowing me, and paid $5 for it.
Yes.
Wonderful. It's just wonderful. Oh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the Dune
Yeah.
playing it, wearing it.
These look like our Pisces 8 caps, Dwayne,
Yeah.
guarding the gateway.
Acker, our Acker twins.
Mhm.
Okay, Brenda, next time you and I are going to have hats.
Yep, bring your hats.
What am I going to come up with? Can I come up with?
We'll see.
Yes, yes.
You're the synchronicity queen. You'll come up with something, or something will come up with you.
And, right. And sorry, you already have yours. So.
Yeah, I know. It's upstairs. I'd go and get it, but it takes a while to go up and down the
Yes.
stairs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lauren to throw it down.
I meant you don't have to create it. Yours is already ready to
True.
ready to
Hey,
wear.
Lauren,
Ah,
could you go and get my hat, my watcher hat? It's underneath the hat stand.
all
Nice.
right. See, you got to ask.
Okay, thank you.
I actually have quite a collection of hats. Nothing as exciting as those, but I rarely ever wear them. But I love them, and they have little stories. One was woven in Hawaii by people I'd met. Well, anyway,
You
Yeah.
have that hat?
yes, yeah, I have
Where is it?
not too far away, actually.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Peer pressure.
That's right.
Oh, too good.
Yeah, I'm liking this hat.
Well, I can see you wearing that at your booth.
Can
Yes.
you see my watcher hat?
Hey, hey.
Hey, can you see mine?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on all the time.
Yeah.
And
Good
you
for
can't
you.
see it.
It's invisible.
The rest of us struggle to get there. You're there.
Great. Thanks, darling.
Ah,
Oh, there we
right
go.
on.
Oh, I love it.
There's the Nobel. There it is.
Dino.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Dynamite.
yeah. Well, that's an example of doing good with your money. I mean, the Nobel prizes are good, and
Mm-hmm.
it was made by the dynamite people. That's cool. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, on serious occasions, I need to put my actual hat on.
This is embarrassing.
Look at that collection.
No, she brings the whole
She has so many hats,
wrap.
she doesn't know what to do with them all.
This
Look at
one
that.
was woven in Hawaii. And
Nice.
Nice.
I have a little band that was actually made with porcupine quill that fits on it. But you can see the actual string
Oh,
they've got in it to tie it. And
Oh, nice.
anyway, so that's that one. This
that's
this
great.
one I got when I went to in 1999, and that was the year I saw Chichen Itza. And this I wear in the water, and I can wear it in the water and go
Oh
right
yeah.
into the water,
Oh, cool.
and it's all hand woven.
That's my favorite so far.
I love it. And it's come apart, and I've had to pull the strings and weave them in, and the rest aren't nearly as exciting, but Gloria, my friend from Ojai, who owned the health food store there,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
she was a descendant of Geronimo.
All right.
And the first person that led me to Sedona.
Cool.
Oh, that's a meaningful hat.
Mm-hmm.
We can skip the rest of them, but baseball caps don't work for me, but this one felt like it did. And of course my grandkids saw it and like, they weren't positive comments, but
Hey, Grandma, your hat's on backwards.
yeah. Do you know how wide it is? Do you know this? I'm like, yes, I do. And it's just different enough that I like it. So
Is that made with corduroy? What is it?
it's soft, fuzzy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah. Fuzzy stuff.
That I've still got and I wear them when I get up in the morning early to go out and do yard work, and the hair is not done, just pull it on. And
Well, it has the same pattern as Archie's helmet.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've been talking about the Watcher's hat. Which of these would you designate your Watcher hat?
I don't know.
Or would you?
Or would I? I don't know if I would. And I'm thinking I should be getting rid of some of these. This was from Gloria as well. Like, am I gonna wear these?
Yes, you are. You're wearing them right now.
But you never know.
Yeah. It might be a new beginning for you. The hats have been in the neutral zone.
There you go. I can go out in the rain and
Oh, that's a good one.
Multi-purpose, yeah.
Oh, I like that one too. Yeah.
here I am, hatless.
Hatless.
And I have a few toques downstairs too.
You should put the hat on that looks like Lauren's.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Lauren's got an invisible hat that he
This
wears
is invisible.
all the time.
oh have on my invisible hat.
No, just the hat.
I missed that when I heard you say something about invisible hat, but
Well, he came down and brought my hat, and he said to Dwayne, "Can you see my hat?" And it, of course, is invisible, right? Because he has. This
right. Yes.
Gee, that's really
Very nice.
yeah.
We'll go with that for now.
Yeah.
Good.
Actually, I'd never been kayaking, and then a friend last summer took me kayaking, and I wore this out all day because it's got a strap that can go under the chin, and it was an absolutely glorious day out on Alouette Lake. Well, we crossed the river and then went up a tributary. It was amazing. So
Cool.
that this hat protected me from the sun. Could
Yeah, that's a
put
good
it
hat.
on, and yeah,
It looks
You
good.
have a string to tie
yes,
her down when the wind starts blowing.
it's tucked under my.
Oh, that's a beauty.
There it is.
Hmm.
Cool.
Well, look at us. Aren't we a gay crowd
I
here?
know, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, this is definitely 7 LAMAT,
Right?
Yeah.
Right on.
right at the crown.
Yes.
That's so good.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm.
Great fun.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We've got 20 more minutes, or we could call this the end. How we're
The grand finale.
This is pretty grand.
Yeah,
I love it. I just love it.
it's hard to top hat.
Yeah. You've got a Viking here, and Steve is the jester, and you're the kayaker,
Hmm.
and I'm the dynamite
Watcher.
person.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite. Yeah, man.
I have to say, I had my couple of weeks with not going anywhere, being very introspective. It was perfect. It's exactly what I needed. And then I've sort of made up for it in the last week and a half or so and being invited to open mic musical events.
Oh, neat.
One of them was on a piece of property that sloped on the hill in White Rock. But there was this musician, Andre Kriegel. I thought he was from Mexico because they showed a video of him from playing in Playa del Carmen. He's from Germany. And if you can look him up, he's incredible. He's a guitar player. And I was able to, anyway, just where I was sitting was incredible. And then his cousin and his wife came and sat beside me. They'd come from Port Moody, and they're the ones that said, well, he plays all over the world, you know. And they were in Edinburgh having dinner at a restaurant, and they heard this music, and they both looked at each other, and sure enough, it was his cousin Andre. So he's from Germany. Lovely, lovely man. And the journeys he took us on under the water, and he talked about, you know, the reef and the riff, the guitar riff, and how it means the same thing in German. And he just led us on magical journeys.
Wow.
And I just was, you know, pinching myself. And then Medrick, I think I shared Medrick's, I remember. He got up and played. Well, each of them blew each other away. And Medrick is at a very interesting stage of his life, going through some health difficulties, but he lives with such incredible depth. And there I'm sitting there, sort of up on this level, and the two of them beside me talking to each other, like you can just feel they both felt each other. And so next time Andre's in Canada or in BC or whatever, there he said, well, maybe we can do a gig together. And I think that was just so, I mean, and Medrick didn't even plan to come. He just ended up there. There's been a lot of magic, let's say.
Wow.
Incredible.
So it was an open mic?
It was actually a fundraiser to raise money for children, to buy instruments for children who can't afford to get instruments. That's
Wonderful.
what it was originally. It was the first one that they've had, but they're looking at doing more. So they had several musicians lined up, and then it ended with an open mic, which I didn't end up staying for till the very end. But then I met these two women, and now I find out that the one that I got to climb in the back of her car, which with the seat not down properly, in with toys for her grandkids. And we made it through the crowds. I find out she's this spiritual teacher. I had no idea that she was into, well, obviously we felt something from each other, but now I find out that she's friends of friends. And Terry, I don't know if you remember Terry Cahoon, Dwayne from way back in the day.
I don't.
No, no. Anyway, there's been lots of magic,
Yeah.
some and challenges.
Now you have a hat you can wear next time.
Right, right.
Mm.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah,
Well, here we are.
yeah, very nice.
I've been attending to some open mic experiences and
Yeah.
loving it. Ashcroft, and there's another one coming up this month. Just pulled in with my big drum back here, and it's got big heart, and
Wow.
it really worked beautifully in that context. And then just last week here, I called on Canada Day. I just felt in the morning that suddenly it was like, oh, you got to have something at high noon here, over at the lookout. And so I put it out on Facebook, and it was really short notice, of course. Nobody showed up except the new family in town who lived
Oh,
just across the street from the lookout. And there's mom and dad and grandpa and the kids, and they all show up, and I've got all my instruments all laid out for them to enjoy.
Oh,
It
beautiful.
was just so incredible, It just I've had experiences before where like nobody showed up, for whatever I was up to, and this was it just felt so good. The kids just
Mhm.
loved it. They're getting their hands on these new instruments they'd never seen before, and they're trying them out, and then of course the dad. I've got my what do you call it, hang drum, and the little spaceship kind of look, and as well the dad. It was like the instrument and the man connected.
oh, nice.
Oh,
He said, I've been struggling with addiction, and I've been vaping and this and that. And he said, I'm really trying to get off of all of that. And he said, I've been looking for something more positive and creative, where I can put myself when I'm feeling that urge. And he
Mm,
said, this feels perfect,
Oh,
you know?
so good.
So, and it's so great. They live in Chilliwack, but they bought this place here, and they're making the transition from Chilliwack to here,
mhm.
and it'll be over the next couple of years. But he was just so grateful to get this connection, and I can't wait to have him come again, and we'll get some jamming going and
wow.
get the kids in
Nice.
on it and so on. So, oh, and then I went from there. Then later in the day, I went over to the Packing House, which is our little cafe and open mic. And so again, I took a big basket full of instruments, rattles, shakers, all kinds of stuff, and the hand drum, and I engaged there, and it was just wonderful. So I'm really feeling, and I'm imaging forth that music is going to be a big part of my life coming up. There's,
Nice.
Yeah.
there's a place where I'm going to have to let go of the screen and all the hours I spend at the screen,
Hmm.
and I'm going to be out there beating on my drum and carrying
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Just connecting with
Sounds like an ending and a new
vibration.
beginning.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
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 So,
Yeah. Well,
perfect.
they had that drum at the Cedar Farmers Market. They had a couple that were live music,
oh, nice.
and
It's such a
he had
soothing
one of those. He was
presence.
playing it. He had it on a stand,
Yeah,
and he was playing it. He said it was from Switzerland.
that's right. It's only a new instrument on the planet.
Yeah.
And what is it?
Discovered.
What
Yeah,
is it?
there's some contemporary Swiss guys, I think, or
Yeah.
guy and gal, uh, invented these.
Mhm.
Now they're all over the world. They're
Yeah. It's like a metal drum thing.
Huh.
That they use a stick?
It's right
Like,
there.
right. Oh,
I think he was using his hands.
oh, a handpan.
handpan. Yeah.
Yes, my
Oh,
good friend Johnny and his wife, he now plays it at the beach, but he goes to a big conference in England every year, and they all play it. They're magical. They're just
Yeah, we
can't.
can't hear it on Zoom.
Yeah. That never
Oh,
works for music.
You have to have a special setting.
Right.
and Johnny, he also plays regular, different drums, and he's got a cajon. It's not a cajon, but it's from Israel, and he plays that. but he went back to busking on the beach with the handpan, and a couple of Indian fellows, Eastern Indian fellows, sang with him, and now it's completely gone viral. It's
Right on.
Yeah, it was so nice. I was able to sit in the shade, eating my taco and listening to this couple play that. And she had a banjo and guitar, and it was really nice.
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 Live music on a beautiful day.
Mm.
Last year there was a fundraiser at somebody had never been there before, and it's not far from here, but I pulled in and it's like in the woods, surrounded by trees, pulled in, and there was Johnny sitting in this little cluster of trees away from everybody playing the handpan. And oh, the energy, the sound was incredible. And the only reason he was tucked in there was because he had COVID. He woke up and was sick and didn't, couldn't join in, but wanted to be there, didn't feel very sick. So they tucked him in this little grove of trees, and it couldn't have been a more beautiful, magical place for him to greet everybody when they
Wow.
arrived. Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Good
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm liking my new hat.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
me too.
Mhm. Mm.
Oh, boy. It's getting to be that time.
Yep.
Mhm. I'm so
Hang
glad.
on to your hats.
Pardon, sorry.
But I'm glad to see everybody. It's so
Yeah,
good.
enjoy your hats.
Well,
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, enjoy your hats.
now I've got to put them away again and see how they stack together. Decide
That one
what
should
we-
be on top.
Oh, I think they're out. They're out now, Brenda. They're out.
You're right.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
I think they're out now.
yeah,
You have one for every day of the week, it looks like.
and more. Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
That's great.
Looks good.
Hmm.
I'm a little.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
You're holding
exactly what I
back.
want to. That's what I want to make or have made with the rose on it. Wow.
Hmm.
Showing up.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Paul.
showing up. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Thank you.
Mucho fun.
Bye. Mucho fun.
Peace and
Mucho
love. Peace and love.
demasiado.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. You got her. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have fun.